Alright, what's up, what's up? It's Sunday. What's up, what's up? It's Sunday. It's almost 10. And we're gonna get started. It's, it's 10, almost 10. And as I promised, I'm going over the last stack that you guys asked for. Last minute last night, I had one more taker. They let me go over BA, so I'll go over it. So watch list is short. I'm just watching the cheapest ones. MU, Coca-Cola, Kroger, and Shake Shack. More things might come up later, but the one I like the most is Coca-Cola because it's easy and you can flip them for cheap. So we're gonna be focusing on a few tickers for the small challenge account. We're just gonna check my progress because, I'll be honest, I did lose a lot. And if you watched my last video last night, and I said like I took a bad play, yeah, that was EA, and we can go check on that. Okay, first up, we're gonna go to Trading View, and I'm gonna put this to side to my first ticker, we're gonna check on Intel. So Intel right now, we are kind of in this channel. So let's see. Where's my box tool? We tapped this zone, this demand zone, and then we bounced. So I'm looking for a higher low to tap this upper 50 area, and then we sell off. Another thing that I should do is that I should clear these charts and then start over for you guys. So that way you guys know like how do I knew where to draw them. So we'll do that basically. So we're gonna remove the drawings for Intel, and then we're gonna try to find areas that on the monthly time frame where does Intel had been before. So Intel right here, I see this as a support, and then I see another one right here, and then another one right here. We have all-time highs in this area right there. So we're just gonna mark that, and then we're gonna peel back more into the weekly time frame. We're only going to find right in this area right here. This is a really strong consolidation zone. I want to mark that as a green area. So green lines. And then where we've kind of tapped off right here, I would mark this area on the daily time frame. On another area here on the weekly. So that is a resistance. And then on this week right here, we had a movement to the upside. So that makes sense to mark it in that area. And then on a daily time frame, let's see. So Intel, we're going to mark Intel right here as a upper zone because right here was resistance, and it also was acting as a support before we went up. And right here we had a lot of consolidation in Intel before we pushed up to make higher highs and pushed up, and then we gapped down after earnings, I think. Yeah, after earnings we gapped down. And now where we're at right now is that we are in this supply zone, not supply, this demand zone right here. We're in the demand zone right here. So on a daily time frame, this is a very large, big consolidation area. We could either break up or break down. If we're waiting to it for break up to the upside, we have to get over this time frame on a daily. We have to get over $50.75. So that would be something to look for, basically. So yeah. Another thing that I see. So, hold on. Morning, Joe, Tony. I'll answer them in a bit. Let me go over charts first for requests. I'm gonna keep you guys in mind. I'll check back in a bit. So, where we see this, where do we see Intel? We have to break it down to the 4-hour time frame. So, on the 4-hour time frame, the 200 EMA is trying to catch up with where all the other EMAs are right now. The 50 and the 20 and the 8 EMA. So we're hovering around in this area right now. And the trend is still kind of a bit bearish because we're still under the 200 EMA. And so what I'm looking at is that because I'm kind of long on Intel, I kind of got stuck on a position in Intel on my main account. I'm looking to sell in this area. So this is the area I'm looking to sell into because this is acting as a resistance. Because we're having resistance right here, that's the area I want to take profit at. If we're bearish on Intel, so Intel can move $2 a day, and if we check the ATR on Intel, have to go to FinViz, and then we just type in Intel. So I was wrong. So it can only move like $1.16 a day, so it's a really slow mover right now. But when it moves, it can move $2 a day. So look for a break above here and take a long position to tap out at from 51 to 52. So if you're short on Intel, you always want to go back to areas that we have really strong support. So on this time frame right here, we would say that this area right here, basically, I'm gonna make this a different color. We're gonna make this a blue color. We're just gonna call that a speed bump zone. So if we're short, we can definitely short this into into the 48 handle. So we're at 50 right now. We can definitely go back to this area here where we had a lot of buyers, because right here previously we've seen that buyers were able to defend this area, because if we look back here, this is where they started buying on Intel. So they reloaded right here again for Intel. So we're just bouncing around right here. And what kind of important is that you want to be careful, because then the red arrow for a sell has occurred on Intel. So anytime you see that, you want to be careful on your position sizing. So the next one on the list that I'm going over is Carnival Cruises. So I already have this one charted out already, but it doesn't hurt to do again. So I'm only going to chart like a little bit from this here. Again, if you don't know how to chart, I use the monthly, the weekly time and daily time frame to chart like the basics, but mostly I use the 4-hour time frame for direction, since I only swing trade. Okay, so we're just gonna start just right here. Anything else, we can go back. Let's see. we only can go back as far as right here in the 2019 crisis. So in Carnival Cruises, this was a request by Sandeep. So we're just gonna go over it. So let's go on the monthly time frame, and we're just gonna try to check up. So right here, I see in the monthly time frame. Let's see. This one right here. I'm gonna try that one. And again, we always can change these. We're not always set in stone. But I just want to like be closer to the candles. So that wick right there, I don't really count that because that's a weird wick. I always want to be close to the candle body. So yeah, I'm not going to count that as a valid on the monthly time frame as a resistance because we easily can pierce that. So right there, that's a support. And then we're going to peel back the layers again. So nothing telling me right here. Well, we did feel this gap right here. So I'm seeing right here that this might be a weekly kind of resistance right now. So on a daily time frame, this is a support on the daily time frame. So right here, you see how we bounced off right here. We kind of like consolidated before we made higher highs and pushed up, and then we met resistance right here. So right now, we've tried a few times. We bounced, and then we went to $24, and then we just sold off. So right here, we're in a really long consolidation area on the monthly time frame. And then we're just bouncing around here. We tried again right here on the 1750 to 1819 handle. We got rejected right here, so now what we're doing is that we want to make sure that we can retest this area right here. So if we bounce off this area right here, and then we consolidate again, look to buy the dip here, or if it doesn't hold, look for the next zone. So the next zone would be right here, and that would be your target. So maybe like right here would be the next zone you want to look for, and that's where all people are going to be buying into Carnival Cruises. So look for this next zone. Where we have resistance and where are their sellers? The sellers are right here. There's a lot of sellers I see right now and a lot of resistance right here. Because we couldn't hold this area and these candle bodies are too small, and not the volume is favoring to the sell side. So anytime we had a dip, it got probably back up, but then we sold off again. So this red arrow on the daily time frame is confirmation that we can move lower, and we always want to find areas where there's buyers. So we have one more area that we can look into, and so we always going to want to confirm it on the daily 4-hour time frame. For a 4-hour time frame, we see that the 200 and the 50 are about to meet, and this is going to form a death cross on the 4-hour. On the 4-hour time frame, it's going to form a death cross if we cannot push up and hold this area, and we have to get above the weekly resistance and to $16. That's when you want to take a long position. You want to take a long position when we're above the 200 and the 50. So $16 would be your entry, and your price target would be in this purple zone. Okay, so I'm done talking about Carnival. The next one I'm going to talk about is I'm going to talk about Microsoft. So Microsoft is running with the market right now. So where do I see Microsoft at? Right now we're in this yellow zone. So So we're going to change this to a yellow zone. And this is a really strong area of support on Microsoft because this is where we tapped, and this is the area we broke out. So 1, 2, and then 3 times, actually 4 times right here, we tapped this area. So what we could do for Microsoft, basically. So we could do, now we could do this. We can tap this area again, and then down and bounce around, making higher lows, and then we could just drop. It's going to be like a rally base drop, or a rally consolidate and drop, or we can just push higher. So if we push higher in Microsoft, we always want to target a resistance. So this one, I'm going to move this one now to this area. I'm just going to delete this. So we're going to target this area right here, and then we're going to make that a purple zone. So the purple zone is always a supply zone. And so if we're targeting this area, this is the area you want to sell into as a swing trade. So we're going to target this area right here from like 2 over 202, and then target 205 for Microsoft as a swing for a long position. And if we're short on Microsoft, there's a lot of things that we can do. First of all, there's a gap right here that I see that hasn't really been filled. So 290 on Microsoft, so that would be a gap. Let's put text in there and saying this is a gap. So you can enable that. Wait, black, gray text. Gap fill 280.75 to 290, 190, 150. So that would be a gap fill. Okay, so what happened there? Inside center. Okay, there we go. So that would be a gap fill for Microsoft right there. And then we can target gap fill there. Another thing we can do is just look at this time frame as a more conservative take profit area, because this is a stretch for Microsoft. We can target 395, 193, 55, and 195.25. So we're going to target this area as a place to cover our positions as a short. So the short position covers right here, because this is a previous support, and then now if we drop down here, that's your first cover target. So next cover target is going to be this target right here. Your long target should be right here, basically. You want to take profit because this is now a supply zone. And also the EMMAs are about to catch up. So the 50 EMMA on the 4-hour time frame and the 200 EMMA are about to cross to make the def cross. So we are in a downtrend for Microsoft if these two EMMAs cross with each other. And again, we see that the 50 and the 20 have crossed to make a bearish trend on this day. So we made a bearish trend on this day on a couple weeks back. So we're bouncing around right now on Microsoft. And so also the red arrow on Microsoft has fired, signaling a short position on the hourly. Let's look at the hourly time frame just to kind of like triple check. So we did bounce off right here. We could make a little run today at open on Monday, and then we could sell off more. So let's check the daily time frame. So yeah, there's a huge support in this area right now for market stock because this is the area that we consolidated right here. So next up on the list is Netflix. And again, I drew this devil, Netflix. So daily time frame, the red arrow on has fired, so that's a short. You don't want to go long when the daily time frame fires a red arrow. You want to be short, and you're going to be looking for areas that you're going to cover. So let me delete Mr. Imp. And then we're going to be trying to chart this out. So on the monthly time frame, we're always going to start with the monthly. So this area right here is pretty strong for Netflix. What the fuck? Okay, right there. So blue, another blue candle, another one right there. This signals a really giant area for Netflix where we have resistance and support. We also want to mark in this area right here for Netflix. Okay. I'm gonna keep that tool locked. So right here, let's look on the weekly time frame and check Netflix. So the weekly time frame, we have this area right here. So that's a weekly. So we're gonna make that green. Another one right here for Netflix. So Netflix in this area right here, we see another area of resistance before we pushed up on Netflix. So there, and then right here on the weekly time frame. On the daily time frame, we see the structure right here. We broke out once and then rejected, and so we're gonna mark. We're gonna have to mark all-time highs, and that's this area right here. So I'm gonna mark that as a yellow color because we might revisit that in the future. Not now, but maybe. Okay, so what can we work with? A Netflix. We can work off here. This looks like an area where we had a lot of buyers because we bounced off in this area. Okay, so, and then right here, I can see that this was area resistance, and then right here we kind of bounced off really hard on Netflix. So right there, and then now we're back on the 4-hour time frame. So what does it look like for a 4-hour time frame? We look like we can make a really big topping pattern. So this is what I see. So let me bring out the brush tool. This looks like a head and shoulder pattern. So it still looks like two horns. You know, you can do that as Mount Everest right here. Draw Mount Everest like that with mountains. So the area that we want to target as a short position, we always want to target a short position where we had previous resistance and now in terms of support. So this is the area that I would be looking for if I'm short on Netflix. So if I'm short on Netflix, I want to target this area. So if I'm long on Netflix, the thing I'm looking for, because Netflix can move a lot in one day, I'm going to be targeting this area right here for a long position. So areas to cover, you want to cover in this area. So from 52 to 58, that would be the area that I would be targeting as my zone. So looking at the MOs right now, you have the 50 on top of the 20 and 8, and we're about to cross on the 200 to make a def cross on the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, I'm looking for a short position or a long position. Either way, we have to check market because we could bounce because it kind of looks oversold. We could do, basically, we could do this. We can tap this area and then consolidate and then move right there, or we can just break out. So if we're kind of like here and we're long, we're going to be targeting right here, this area right here. So, and that would really help us narrow down our positions and also make sense of where we're targeting in this area right here from like 44, 92, 99, so 493 to 502. That would be an area to take profits. And Netflix. Make this a purple color. Okay. Next one on the list, it's this by Dave. So he requested I do SRNE. Excuse me. So 4-hour time frame, this is a bullish trend that SRNE reclaimed. 4-hour time frame looks like the golden cross is going to complete on the 4-hour time frame because the 200 has caught up with all the EMMAs, so it crossed the 8. The next one, it crossed the 20. Now the 50. So 4-hour time frame, it has the golden cross. The green arrow fired to go long on this ticker. We did have a pullback right here. And now the 8 is acting as support on the daily time frame. What do we see? We see a lot of buyers that are accumulating shares right here. This is where buyers were accumulating the shares. So we're going to make this red. Right there. Oh, let me see. Oh, sorry. Yeah, hold on. Let me just check the stream thingy. So, thanks for telling me that. Studio mode. Okay, so I'm just gonna fix what's going on right now. Okay, so stream health. Okay, so it's my stream problem right now. We're gonna try to fix that. So yeah, I'll post. So if you guys can't see the charts themselves, what I do, I usually post a link to my charts on TradingView, and I always take screenshots of every time frame. But yeah, so SRNE is kind of forming a cup, and a daily time frame is just telling me to go long on this ticker. Trying to fix this right now, so I have to go back. Output. Okay. This is not optimal. How do Okay. I know it's kind of blurry. I'm trying to fix it right now, but it's not letting me. See, it's telling me that frame rate just dropped a lot. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, sorry, it's gonna be blurry on my recording app. It looks clear. So what I'm gonna do after this, I'm gonna upload a better one, and then I'll redo it. I don't have a problem redoing this, so you guys can see the last kind of charts that I was supposed to do. Trying to figure this out, so it's not. I probably have to do something about it. I don't want you guys to get confused, like what you're seeing. And you guys have access to like what I'm covering, so it's just the last one. I'm gonna redo it later. Okay, yeah. So SRNE, we can try. We're gonna look, and then right here, I see resistance on this level right here. Shit. Okay. Alright, let me refresh. Okay, so resistance was right here. This was a zone, and that we pushed up, and it was acting as a daily resistance in this area right here. SRNE has a history of, as a penny stock, they do a lot of pump and dumps. You always want to be careful with these ones. They're great as, they're not so great for long term. They are great for like a swing trade. So you see in this area, historically on the monthly chart, So monthly chart right here. Right there. So right there, I see that this was the area that the stock was able to pump and then dump. So usually what this stock does is like, I think there's like when there's a pandemic, they do this pump and dump situation. So we're in a pandemic. I think every election cycle had one. Pump and then dump and then right here, back here again. So we had people who were stuck here in the 17 to 20 handle. They were able to finally get out on this candlestick in July, I think. No, August. They were able to get out there. So if we pull back on the weekly time frame, there's not a very good candle structure that we can refer back on, except for like right here. So we can actually convert these two red lines into green as a weekly resistance. And then we also want to do like right here at $4.70 as a support. So, and then now we're just looking back on the daily time frame where we had resistance right here. This was like a support, minor support. It was not that great of a support, basically. So we're gonna change that color to red just to tell us like, okay, this is where we had a lot of trouble. And when the red arrow fired on a daily on August 21st, this was a short all the way down to from $6 to $6, $7. So I'm gonna make that a demand zone. So a demand zone will be right there. A demand zone is where you have buyers. Buyers were right here. They front loaded you so they can push the stock up. And you hear that from me because I used to trade penny stocks, and I still trade penny stocks from time to time. But basically what a front loader is that they front load you and they fake you out and they push the stock up. And that's what happened right here. They're accumulating shares in this area right here. This explains the low volume. Before they pushed it, I mean, they added on to their position right here, had a pullback, they added, and then they pushed the stock up. So that's what happened. And also, I got explained that there was a lot of call flow going into this ticker last week, and that was pretty fishy. They actually got the 2022 calls for the 10 strike. They made their money already. That was insider trading. No one knew that. Those fuckers. Okay, so yeah, I just want to look right here, and I see that we had a lot of resistance from in this zone right here, this purple zone on SRNE. So from $10.75 to $11.30, that was where the sellers were at. That was where they sold their position. They sold their contracts too. Those fuckers didn't make me money. I should have jumped on, fuckers. Damn it. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of pissed. So I saw the call flow. I didn't jump in because I didn't like playing these these COVID biotech names. But yeah, if you look at it, they front load you right here on Monday, and then that was like a big move. Your contract that was 25 cents is now like $3. So I would grab 10 of those because they're cheap. Okay, so next one, and this one's the last one on the list. Oh yeah, if I forgot to tell you. Since this is like a major cup and handle situation, what I want to see is like we break out here. I know we're gonna break out this. We're gonna do. Let's say you bought shares because I prefer shares on this one. You bought shares. You bought it at 950. So 950 is where you bought your shares, and then you're gonna try to target this purple zone as take profit, or this zone right here. This zone right here is where you want to take profit for a swing. So $9, $10 is your profit. So let's say $10 because it's a nice whole number. We also fill this gap right here. You gotta gap down that thing. So I would be biased to a long position until we break we break under $8. So if we break $8, that would be your stop limit, or $8.50 and $8.75. So I would just mark this as caution. So I'm just gonna put yellow, not yellow. Let's do a magenta color right there, and then we just put caution. So caution, if we get into this and it breaks below, you can hold your shares for a long time, but yeah, if you want to cut in this area, do yourself a favor. Don't be a bag holder. And you can just move on to the next one. So, but it looks good. You can actually take a long position too. These upper areas like between $10, $10.50, $11, and that would be your target area for shares. So it's cheap. So I'm done with the whole list, and now we're gonna go over cheap tickers, basically like tickers that I'm trading, and then we can go over how's my challenge count doing. I'm doing pretty bad right now. So I'm gonna look to kind of see where we're at. So Coca-Cola, I drew this already. Where are we at with Coca-Cola? We haven't reached my swing target yet, but we're still stuck in this consolidation area. So what I'm looking for right now, make this purple. This is a supply zone. So there's a lot of sellers here. What I did on this day, I took the opportunity to take a long position here. So we gapped down. I saw this candlestick rusher right here, just looking back. Right here, this yellow demand zone. I took a long position right there. So on the 1 hour time frame, I got in late and I got it down here. Now, because this area right here was acting as a previous speed bump zone. Speed bump zones for me are always teal and light blue. So in this speed bump zone, we were consolidating this area before we pushed up to this area. If you follow last week's watch list and the watch list I post for the small account challenge, it never changes. Coca-Cola, Bank of America, Abivai, all that. I am never changing the watch list unless Flow Algo tells me otherwise. So that watch list will never change. I guarantee you that. I'm never going to change it because it's just too much for me. I watched 500 tickers. So in this speed bump zone, I took I added on every dip, and I sold to this area right here because I knew we had a lot of resistance. because right here, when we went over that, and we went overreached on the resistance over 51, try to break 52, sellers were there to take this down and consolidate it and bring it down more, and they covered their position right in this zone right here. So this is a big zone, but I just want to get like, okay, we tapped this 49 area before they covered their positions because buyers were able to step up this bid and then consolidate it here. And then when we got back in the purple zone, that's where I sold my position, and then I did not touch Coca-Cola again. And then I touched Coca-Cola on this area right here for a quick flip. So I took a quick flip position overnight. I bought a deep in the money 50 call, and I sold Coca-Cola for a 20% profit. So if you trade Coca-Cola a lot, this is a cheap ticker, and it can give you like $30 to $40 returns every time, and that's really good for small accounts. So I'll be trading a lot of this, and I'll be posting my charts and all the time frames you need to look at to trade Coca-Cola, because Coca-Cola is a slow mover, basically. So for Coca-Cola, so next time, okay, so I just want to bring this up. Next time I'm using Zoom, because I hate that YouTube is kind of like crappy when I go live sometimes. It's only when I record. So next time I'm gonna do a Zoom meeting. But that means I'm more restricted. So that means I only have 30 minutes and I can overcover like 5 charts compared to YouTube. And I'm still gonna re-upload everything later in the day. So hourly time frame, we're looking at a short for Cocoa, and I also post my charts, so don't worry. I got you covered. Okay, so where we're at with Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola looks like a short. So we're gonna be kind of shorting Coca-Cola. If we're under 55, 45, so we can short Coca-Cola to, so let's see, where can we short this? And we've bounced. Well, we're just going to talk about the short position first. So the short position that we're looking to cover our positions from 52 to 49. Actually, 49.90 would be a good area to cover. So we're going to be covering from 50.25 to 49. That'll be an area that you want to cover. And you want to step your stop in the middle, like $50 to cover your short position. So that's a very nice trade for Coca-Cola. If we're looking to go long on Coca-Cola, KO, we want to go long above 50, 50. So 50 and 50.70, from 50.50 to 50.75, because that would give confirmation that we can go back into the purple zone from 51 to 51.50, and that would be the area that you want to cover your position for a long position. And then since Coca-Cola takes a very long time to even break out remotely, the really big target for me is 53 to 54.50. That's my target for Coca-Cola. I'm still in a Coca-Cola position, but all my Coca-Cola positions are for June 2021. So I'm not really looking at that position right now, just because I'm down on it and I kind of like spend. I think I spent for a 55 contract for Coca-Cola for $1.50. I don't know, but I'm down on it right now, so we'll wait. And since I have until June, I'm not going to be looking at it for Coca-Cola. So it's a slow mover. I don't really care what Coca-Cola does. I got a lot of time for this swing. I'm not going to exit my position like next year. I have like 6 months left. It's still September. I mean, I can buy more time if I want to. I can just roll it over. It doesn't really matter. So next one, we're gonna look briefly at Kroger. Okay, Kroger. Okay, so let's look at the 4-hour time frame. Kroger right now bounced. So this is another slow mover. Kroger can move like a dollar a day, so we can see that Kroger is trying to reclaim the 200 EMA and the 8 EMA. So I don't know. I'm gonna wait for Kroger to bounce off into the $33.50 zone. So in this area right here, so right there, I will be covered. I want to look if we can break out here and then reclaim that, so that way we can make new all-time highs for Kroger. Yeah, so this is an area of kind of really importance. I want to stress that because we had people who were buying right here on Kroger. So their cover target was in this area. So they already covered their positions. So this to me looks like a bounce play. What we could potentially do is that we could, since we haven't really reclaimed all the 8 and the 20 EMA, so if the 8 is above the 20, that's a bullish trend. We have to reclaim from 33.50 and then bounce off here before we kind of like go back to 36. So that's what I'm looking for. Otherwise, we're going to be looking for a bounce and die play. So bounce and die play, same trajectory. It's just that we're just going to go lower. So, and then we're just going to be covering to $31 and $31 and $31.50. So that's your cover target for a short position. We're gonna go over Shake Shack. Okay, Shake Shack. I like Shake Shack, but we kind of met resistance, so we're gonna. So I don't want to take I think I want to take a short position, just because the 8 is over the candles right now, and just I don't like when that happens. Usually, when the 8 is above every other candle, it starts to look like a short to me. So the reason why I say that is because people who were stuck here got out here. So right there, this is where the sellers were right here. the sellers were right here. They waited to get out when the stock pushed up there this time. So that was their place that they want to sell if they were stuck here in this area right here, where we gap down and went lower. If we want to go long, we have to break above and hold this area from 69 to 72 area. So that would be there. That would be the area that you want to go long on Shake Shack and hold your position. Let's see. So MU has earnings. I'm only interested in MU because there was 2 AI callouts for MU, and then we're back in this upper area right here. So let's see. We ended the day at 50, but we could potentially break higher for MU. Try and test all-time highs at 59 to 60 area. We'll check. This might be an earning lotto play, but I can't see that on a daily time frame. The 50 and the 200 EMA are about to cross to make the golden cross on a daily. So that was a very long consolidation on the monthly time frame for MU. So this one would be a lagger that's what I would think, because it's lagging behind the market compared to other chip makers. I think RAM makers, they make memory, so memory tickers. This one's kind of lagging, so I would go long on this one. So if we're long, I think we have a pullback right here, and with earnings, the premium might be jacked up. So be careful for earnings because they have earnings coming up on the 29th. The earning estimate is 99, so maybe they'll beat. So if they beat, look for, we might get earnings surprise. And like if you want to do something stupid, like a stupid crazy lotto, like I always do crazy stupid lottos. I mean, they just hit. Just get like a 53 call for 2 weeks out for MU. Or like 52 if you can afford it. Or something stupidly crazy. Just anything crazy, they'll probably hit. That's what I always do. Not my suggestion. I always go out of money and they hit, so it's my style. So that's okay. I'm looking into a long position for MU. If we can get over 52, then like it's a clear sign that we're in blue sky territories. We can reclaim all-time highs for MU. So that's the watch list for the challenge account, and that's all I want to go over today. Later in the day, I'm going to be posting all the charts and all the time frames for you guys to look at. It's going to be like a big list. So, and then I'm going to break down from the weekly, the daily, and all the time frames so you guys can understand. And I'm just going to like re-record this because the app I'm using, the frame rate just dropped like crazy. So that's about it. Thank you guys for watching, and like if you want my Twitter, it's my gamer handle, so if you see me on Discord. My gamer handle is my Twitter. So I do video games. I'm trying to stream my video games right now. I'll see you guys maybe later this week. Trying to take a break from trading. And I'll see you soon. Oh, and I'll take like some requests. I guess I'll take a request. So, oh. This chart looks really choppy. TP Temple Western. Is that a valid ticker? I'm getting a different name. Let me. Okay, so I don't think I can check Aussie names. Let me try. Oh yeah, Tony. Yeah. I should answer your question. Why do you increase the quality of a spread? Wait. When do you increase the quantity in a spread? Okay. Tony, shoot me a DM. So on Discord, just shoot me a DM on Discord and then try like explain to me because I don't really understand your question. So I have Discord messages open right now. So just shoot me your question. I'll answer it. I just don't understand because it doesn't make any sense to me. And you're gonna explain with examples. So I'm gonna end the video. It's getting too long, basically. I just don't want to waste anyone's time.